SpaceX is facing disappointment after having to cancel the 10th test flight of Starship at the last minute. This setback is sharply contrasted by incredible news announced not long before: the signing of the first commercial contract to send cargo to Mars. These two events, a technical challenge and a commercial milestone, show us the path of space exploration in perfect clarity. A journey full of challenges, but also incredibly promising. A frustrating delay and a giant leap forward. These two seemingly opposite events actually tell us the complete story of the mission to Mars. A path filled with immense challenges, but one that is also becoming more real and more promising every single day. So today, we're going to unpack both sides of this incredible story. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with the event that had us all glued to our screens: Starship Test Flight 10. The excitement for this flight was off the charts, and for good reason. Each Starship test is a step into uncharted territory for orbital rocketry. But before the countdown clock even started on launch day, the drama had already begun. The day before the planned launch, word got out that there was a technical issue, specifically a leak in a liquid oxygen transfer tube. Now, for anyone new to this, liquid oxygen, or LOX, is one of the two key ingredients for the Raptor engine's fire-breathing power. It's the oxidizer for the methane fuel. A leak, no matter how small, is a serious problem. But in true SpaceX fashion, engineering teams worked literally all through the night in the Texas humidity to repair the leak.
If anyone was following along yesterday, we actually didn't even get into our webcast as we had a leak on one of the hoses feeding the liquid oxygen into the ship through its quick disconnect. We were able to replace that this morning. Team did an incredible job, got us into an attempt today.
By morning, they had given the green light. The rocket was ready. The team was ready. Fast forward to launch day. The countdown was proceeding beautifully. Starship stood fully fueled on the pad, venting plumes of super cold oxygen vapor, looking every bit the beast that it is. We went through all the major milestones, the countdown reaching its final nail-biting minute, T60 seconds, T50 seconds, and then...
So we are expecting to hold at T-minus 40. We are still red on the range for weather. So look for the clock to pause in just a couple seconds.
Just 40 seconds away from igniting 33 Raptor engines. The reason? A weather violation. Specifically, something called an anvil cloud was drifting too close to the launch site. SpaceX's official tweet tried to keep the hope alive, stating T40 seconds and holding. Teams are using this time for final checks. All systems continue to look good for today's flight test. We all waited, hoping for a break in the clouds, but the weather just wouldn't cooperate. After a tense hold, the final call was made. The launch was officially scrubbed. SpaceX tweeted, "Standing down from today's flight test attempt due to weather. Starship team is determining the next best available opportunity to fly." It's a huge letdown for us, and especially for the thousands of people who worked on it. But here's the crucial silver lining, the part that makes this a story of progress, not just failure. Even though it didn't launch, the entire procedure was what's known as a successful wet dress rehearsal. That's space talk for a full practice run. They loaded over 10 million pounds of propellant, went through the entire countdown sequence, and everything on the rocket itself performed perfectly. This means the overnight repairs on that oxygen leak, they worked. The rocket is sound. The team just needs Mother Nature to cooperate next time.
Sad voice coming in. We did just hear that we are still going to be red. So at this point, we are essentially transitioning this to be a wet dress. Again, we essentially turned today into a wet dress, so today still ended up being a test.
Still learning something as always.
And the context for this flight is what makes it so important. Flight 10 carries the hopes of learning from the lessons of Flight 9. During that flight, the Super Heavy booster was lost during its boost back burn when they intentionally tested a very high angle of attack. Basically, they tried to fly it at a very aggressive angle to test the limits, and it didn't survive. SpaceX has implemented fixes for both issues, and they were confident enough that they even released a full video simulation of the planned flight path for this test. The scrub was a weather issue, not a rocket issue. And that's a critical distinction. And that distinction is everything. Because while a launch delay might feel like a temporary step back, the long-term vision for Starship didn't even blink. In fact, just a few days before this scrub, SpaceX announced a commercial milestone so huge, it almost feels like science fiction. They have officially signed the first-ever commercial contract to deliver payloads to the surface of Mars using Starship. Let that sink in. This isn't NASA. This is a commercial customer buying a ticket to Mars. The customer is ASI, the Italian space agency. On August 7th, its president, Teodoro Valente, made the historic announcement on X, saying, Italy is going to Mars. At ASI Spazio and at SpaceX have signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the first Starship flights to Mars with customers. The payloads will gather scientific data during the missions. Italy continues to lead in space exploration. This isn't just an agreement to maybe fly someday. This is a plan to put Italian scientific instruments on some of the very first Starship missions to the Red Planet. So, what are they sending? The payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a meteorological monitoring station to study Martian weather, and a radiation sensor. These instruments will collect vital data during the roughly 6-month journey from Earth to Mars, and crucially, after landing on the Martian surface. The Italian Space Agency put it this way: the goal is to collect scientific data during the approximately 6-month interplanetary flight phase that Starship will undertake from Earth to Mars, and subsequently to the Martian surface. This deal fundamentally changes the game. It signals the beginning of a new commercial economy beyond Earth orbit. SpaceX isn't just building a rocket, they're building a delivery service to another planet, and the excitement from SpaceX was palpable. The company's president and COO Gwynne Shotwell, a legend in the space industry, posted this wonderful, celebratory message: "Get on board, we are going to Mars. SpaceX is now offering Starship services to the Red Planet. We're excited to work with the Italian Space Agency on this first-of-its-kind agreement. More to come. Get on board." That's the message. The bus to Mars is starting to sell tickets, so here we are. A scrubbed launch and a signed Mars contract. It's the perfect snapshot of the reality of spaceflight. The contract with Italy is a signal of immense confidence in the Starship program. It's a testament to the belief that SpaceX will solve the immense technical hurdles. It's the why that fuels the whole endeavor. The scrub of Flight 10 is the how. It's the hard, gritty, step-by-step process of getting there. It's a reminder that rockets are incredibly complex, and that sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't your own engineering, but a simple cloud in the sky. But we can't forget that every single test, whether it ends in a spectacular explosion, a successful splashdown, or a frustrating scrub, provides gigabytes of priceless data. Each test, success or failure, is a lesson that shortens the long road to Mars. The Italian contract is the light at the end of the tunnel. The flight tests are the tunnel itself. We'll be eagerly awaiting the next launch attempt for Flight 10, which will hopefully be very soon. And you can be sure we'll be here to cover it for you. But I want to know what you think. What do you believe is the biggest remaining challenge for Starship to overcome before it's ready for Mars? Is it the technical reliability, the orbital refueling, or the landing itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth space content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update.